Harry's desperate move. A cynical new low for the prince as he plots yet another fake royal trip overseas in a last shameless attempt to win over King Charles and make himself a frontline serving royal once again. Harry, it ain't going to happen. Dream on, baby. Now, Harry wants to be a frontline serving royal because he's bored in America and his flat broke. Don't forget the deals are disappearing and Netflix have just pulled the plug. So Harry wants to be right at the heart of the royal family again because he wants the fame. He wants the status. He wants the privilege and he wants the money. So the Sussexes have announced they're planning a major trip to Australia next month, April 2026. And the Mark Dolan show has been told by a very well-placed royal source that we trust implicitly that this trip is one that Harry hopes will put him and Meghan back on the royal map. That is how deluded these people are, that they think there's a chance that there's a way back when clearly there is not. Now, our insider has said, and I quote, Harry believes that the optics of this Australia trip will be perfect. You heard me right. Harry believes the optics of this Australia trip will be perfect, revisiting a country where the couple last visited as frontline members of the royal family in 2018. Our source goes on to say, Harry is hoping to tap into some of the magic of that last trip 7 years ago, where he believes that he and Meghan truly shone. He thinks that his father, the king, will be impressed with this Australian trip and will reach out. Harry sees this trip as a potential game share in his relationship with the family. And our source goes on to say, Harry wants to turn heads, wow everyone, and show the royals what they're missing. Yikes. What is going on? Is Harry back on the mind-altering substances? We know from reading the book Spare that he was baked for a decade. Well, people will say, wow, right. So, he wants to turn heads and wow everyone. People will say, wow, when he goes to Australia. They'll say, wow, this couple are so embarrassing. Wow, this couple are deluded. Wow, this couple are living on another planet. So, it's quite extraordinary. It's going to have the opposite effect. If Harry thinks that this will be a game share, the game will be changed and it will work against him because Harry is going to once again infuriate not just his father, King Charles, but of course the real power behind the throne, William, who is the equivalent of the presidential. He is the heir to the throne. He's the king in waiting and he won't take any of this nonsense from Harry when he becomes the main man. So, a spokesperson for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, by the way. We don't know who that is because they get through staff so quickly. They get through staff members like James Corden gets through Krispy Kreme donuts and Filto fish from McDonald's. Do you like the Filt fish? I like it, but I once had it without the tartar sauce and let me tell you, it was a disaster because I realized what I was actually eating. So, a spokesperson for the Duke and Duchess, we don't know who it is, but it will be someone that will be fired early tomorrow morning, and it'll be another member of the Sussex Survivor Squad. Here's what they said. They said the Sussexes will visit Australia in mid-April to take part in a number of private, business, and philanthropic engagements. Who do these people think they are? What are those business engagements going to be given the fact that the world's biggest streaming giant has just fired Meghan Markle and has had nothing to do with Harry for years? What businesses are going to be interested in working with Harry and Meghan based in Australia? Australia, where we have so many viewers to the Mark Dolan show, is a very, very competitive and entrepreneurial place. It's a creative country and it's a mega economy and there's no way that any self-respecting entrepreneur is going to throw a few Australian dollars in their direction. The other thing about the Australians that I know intimately well is they don't like grifters. They don't like fakes. They don't like phonies. If you go to Australia, you don't have to be perfect, but you got to be real. Let me know, my Australian viewers, would you agree with that? I think that's absolutely critically true about the Australian people. They take no nonsense and they take no prisoners. So this is what they're going to do. They are visiting Australia. We're told in mid-April, of course. We won't be given the dates, folks, because the couple are so important. Oh, they're so terribly important. We mustn't reveal the date because there's such interest in the couple that if we say when they're going to be at Los Angeles X-Airport, there shall be a crowd and they shall be mobbed. It'll be like the Beatles in the 1960s. No, no one's interested. They could do a press release about where they're going to be and when, and it'll be a no-show because this is not William and Catherine talking about here, folks. This is the poor tribute act. It is Harry and Meghan. So, we're not allowed the date. And of course, they're so worried about their security. Are they going to have armed cops in Australia? Well, the good people of Australia will not be expected to cough up money for the protection of these royal spoiled brats. Why should they? The Australians have no skin in that game. And we know that Harry's battling the Home Office in the UK for armed royal protection, but he won't have it in Australia. He's gallivanting the world. And he's quite happy to go to Ukraine, which is at war. He goes to China. He goes to Mexico. He goes to Las Vegas. He lives in California, which these days is a little on the lawless side. And yet, the only place he doesn't feel safe is Mayfair in central London and Buckingham Palace and Clarence House. Make it make sense. Well, it doesn't make sense because it's all lies. So, the couple will be visiting Australia in mid-April. We won't give the detailed coordinates because they're such a target. They will take part in a number of private engage. What are those private engagements? Will it be any of Harry's friends in Australia? Because the royal butler Grant Harold, who's a very good friend of mine, told me on my Talk TV show that the most surprising thing about Harry these days is that he's not in touch with his friends, that is dropped his friends. Well, that's Harry. Harry is transactional. You see, I sometimes think we're a bit unfair on Meghan Markle. My husband, I call him 8. You're welcome. Did you know I'm not Meghan Markle anymore? I'm Meghan. I sometimes think we're a bit harsh on Meghan because the bottom line is she is a wild narcissist. She's cynical. She's a gold digger. She's a human avatar. She's the kind of grinning tan manifestation of ChatGPT software gone horribly wrong. She's a piece of work. She's a ramen. But it irritates me because Harry gets to have the image of, poor Harry man. I'm just that. Really cool with the beads. I've got these like little bracelets because I'm such a hippie. Even though I was born, into millions of dollars and lived in mansions and was surrounded by priceless paintings. But I'm actually a hippie and I'm sort of just like Woodstock and Glastonbury, Yeah. And he's got this image, the caring, sharing country bumpkin. He's got the ginger hair and he's got the beard. He's basically a bum. He looks like a homeless man. He's the world's most famous bum, isn't he? And if I was the authorities, I'd move him on a regular basis. Sorry, sir. You can't sit here. No vagrants in Montecito. Thank you. Oh, no. No. I live here, actually. I'm Prince Harry. Whatever. They're all Prince Harry. Get in the van. Folks, I'm telling you that it is quite extraordinary that they think they're going to go to Australia, turn heads, wow people, and show Charles what is missing. Do they insult the great man's intelligence? Now I know Charles is not William Shakespeare or Winston Churchill or Sir Paul McCartney. He's not Elton John and I can't explain. But what I will say, let me say just this. Charles is not a stupid man. He's an inveterate. Inveterate. I think that is the word. Is that the word? It's a word now. He's got no backbone. Invertebrate. Yes, he's an invertebrate. He's like a frog. Slightly green, a bit oily and no backbone. That's the problem with Charles. Oh, Camilla, one, has no backbone. Unfortunately, it's very difficult when they wear the heavy crown sort of wobbles a bit because the vertebrae just aren't there. So, when I'm wearing, Camilla, when I'm wearing the crown, I rather wobble. One wobbles a little, So, here's the truth. Harry is under massive illusions if he thinks this is going to change the game for his relationship with the royal family. And he's in insulting the intelligence of King Charles, who is definitely not a stupid man. And by the way, one of the few members of the royal family that's ever been entrepreneurial with the Duchy Originals brand, which is an amazing food brand with genuinely successful jams and meats and all the rest, wines, unlike Meghan and her trainwreck business project as ever, which of course Netflix have literally just got rid of. They have washed their hands of the whole project. It'll be gone in a year. Don't mean I mean it's gone now. As ever's gone now. But it will be announced it's gone in a year. So, There are going to be these private meetings in Australia. Who are they going to be with? Now, I'm 10 minutes, 5 seconds delighted to say that the Mark Dolan Show is brought to you by my good friends at Cozy Earth, who are all about getting the little details of life just right. Because when something feels good, like properly good, it changes your day. And when you sleep well, when you rest well, when you feel comfortable in your own home, everything works better. Cozy Earth make beautifully crafted essentials designed with real care. From their luxuriously soft, breathable comforters or duvet which help you sleep cool, calm, and comfortable through the night to their wonderfully supportive socks which are soft, cushioned, breathable, and feel fantastic on your feet from the first step of the day to the very last. And that's what I love about Cozy Earth. It is thoughtful. It's intentional. It is quiet luxury. Luxury enough, even for King Charles. Ooh, Camilla. You know, I must say, those Cozy Earth socks. Wonderfully soft. You think we should get a royal crest put on them? Should we send Harry a comforter for his birthday? He gets very little comfort from Meghan, you know. Cozy Earth specialize in the things that you use every single day. So, why shouldn't they be beautifully made? Why shouldn't your bedding feel cloud-like without being heavy or stifling? Why shouldn't your socks feel like a small, but genuine upgrade to your life? Cozy Earth has put a lot of care into the details and you can feel it. This is comfort with craftsmanship built in. Now, this very special promotion is risk-free because Cozy Earth gives you a 100-night sleep trial. So, you can give it a go for yourself in your own home. And they also offer a 10-year warranty, which tells you everything you need to know about the confidence that they have in this beautiful range. So, discover how much of a difference comfort in the details can make. Head to cozier.com and use my exclusive code DOLAN for up to 20% off. That is cozier.com promo code DOLAN for 20% off. And if you get a post-purchase survey, do mention that you heard about Cozy Earth right here. Experience the craft behind the comfort and make every day feel intentional. Camilla, have you seen my blasted socks anywhere? So, there are going to be these private meetings in Australia. Who are they going to be with? Are people strung out on mind-altering substances who have lost reason? Those are the only people that will do business with Harry and Meghan. Now they're going to have to go to some bars in the outback where people have just been guzzling whiskey all day. Ah, good to see you, buddy. And I'll give you a little investment. You guys seem very investable to me. But then again, I've just had 55 bottles of Bundaberg rum, so I'm not the best person to ask. No, it's not going to happen. And then the other thing they're going to do is philanthropic engagements. And be clear, and let's make this a rule of the Mark Dolan Show that when the couple talk about philanthropy, this is ego. This is about their branding. This is image. It is smoke and mirrors. They're not trying to make the world a better place. They're trying to boost their bank account. They're trying to get clicks. They're trying to have headlines. They're trying to be relevant. They're a classic example of powerful celebrities using charities for their own cynical ends because the really brilliant people who do charity work don't tell anyone. Their work is silent and it's a spectacular and beautiful thing. So, the spokesperson added that's going to be fired tomorrow at 8 a.m. and will have PTSD from working for the couple. The spokesperson for the Sussexes added, further details will be shared in due course like week. Here. What are we on the edge of our seats here? What is this? Some kind of cliffhanger. I can't get on with my life now because I'm waiting for the Sussexes to give us more details about their grifter trip to Australia, which is such a great country. And I just think, Australia, it's got its challenges. I'm so excited to say that I am a regular guest star on one of the best shows on the planet, which is Paul Murray live on Sky News Australia. What a channel and what a host. Paul Murray's such a gentleman. I met him first time round for I believe it was the Queen's Jubilee when the lovely great Queen Elizabeth was still with us and incredible broadcast and news current affairs showbiz. They've got it all covered. They're fearless. They're not politically correct. They say it like it is. It's an incredible network. Paul's a lovely guy. So, and I've got a little flavor of, you know, Australian politics, Australian culture, Australian society, and I will say it's an incredible country with a great history, a big future. But I do think it will be a setback for Australia if these two idiots turn up.